Hey, welcome back. This is part 2 of my game collection. So this is going to be a much shorter video because I've lost more than half of my games for these systems. So I'm going to start with Super Nintendo here. Got Final Fantasy III, my favorite game of all time, other than maybe Metal Gear Solid 1 and 3 and Final Fantasy Tactics. It's really in the top 5 for me. This is the game that started me on the path of RPGs. It's really the game that's responsible for my nerdism today. And we got, of course, Super Mario World. Talk about that no more. Super Star Wars. You know, I'm a big Star Wars nerd, or I was, so I picked this up somewhere. Super Return of the Jedi, which was actually a friend of mine's game, and he gave it to me, so that's pretty cool. And Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Another great game, probably one of the best Super Nintendo games ever made, if not the best Zelda game in my opinion. Move those out of the way. Get down to the Sega games. I know I've lost a bunch of my Super Nintendo games. I lost Super Play Action Football, Battle Grand Prix, Super Off-Road, and one more. I had 9 games, but I've lost a bunch of those. Let's look at this. Haunting, starring Poltergeist. Now this is a really interesting game because you play like a Beetlejuice type character, and you have to scare everybody out of the house. And it's kind of hard in some points. You don't get it. You get like basically 3, or you get like 1 life bar, and that's it. Gargoyles. Now this game I actually. A couple of these games I picked up out of the trash. This is one of them. I picked this out of the trash at while I was on my way to school. I just looked in a box and saw Sega cartridges, and I grabbed them all up and stuck them in my bag before school while I was walking to school, and I scored a bunch of games, and they all work. So that's one of them, and I think Poltergeist might be one of those too. Generations Lost. I forgot what this game's actually about because I haven't played it in a couple of years. And I only got it 2 years ago. I played it maybe once. And The Lost Let's Play. Ghostbusters for Sega Genesis. Also known as the only good Ghostbusters game. Oh, I'm hoping the new game is good, but this is the only good one so far that's ever come out. There was one for PC, Ghostbusters 2, that wasn't too bad. More of a business sim, but it was kind of hard to figure out because it was one of those ancient games. And the reason I call it the Lost Let's Play is because I did a Let's Play of it, finished the game in 2 hours, and then I found out that the music was recording over my voice, and none of the audio was usable. The voice was completely lost underneath the sound, and I wasted 2 hours, and I hadn't slept the night before, and I had a bitch of a time beating the boss, so maybe one day I may do this game again, but for now I just don't want to play it. I did that about 4 months ago, so maybe in the coming months. Maximum Carnage for Genesis. This is another one I picked up out of the trash. Excellent, excellent game. Hands in the shadow there. Really, I mean, Spider-Man's gigantic, and I can't get past level 2, but that's because I suck at it and didn't own it since I was a kid. Mortal Kombat. Of course, everybody has to own the first Mortal Kombat. This is the only Mortal Kombat game I've ever played. I'd never really played Mortal Kombat 2, 3, 4, or any of them. I mean, I'd play them at my friend's house maybe once or twice, and then I never played them again. But I think this is one of the best fighting games ever, other than Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, which is the Street Fighter game I'm good at. Any other Street Fighter game I totally blow at, especially once they got Turbo and started introducing different characters. Alright, Miss Pac-Man. Awesome game. I've beaten that on every single difficulty with my buddy Eric, and every single maze type. We beat Miss Pac-Man's ass over the course of a week. And here's a good find. This also came out of the trash. Phantasy Star 2. Oh, let's get my hand out of the shadow there. See if you can see that. Yeah, Phantasy Star 2. Excellent, excellent Sega RPG. I really thought before I found this, before I even knew that Phantasy Star existed, that Sega had no good RPGs, and Super Nintendo was the place to be, which is why it was my favorite system. But this game's actually really fucking good. skip Phantasy Star 2, but 4 is probably the best one. Primal Rage. Another fighting game that I suck at because I picked it up out of the garbage. That game blows. Side Pocket. Pool game. My brother found this when he was working at cleaning out abandoned houses. And he just grabbed it. It's like a decent pool game. Super Hang-On. Bike racing game. That's my brother's. It's actually got like a business sim mode kind of thing where you gotta buy different parts and shit, which is kind of bullshit because my frame breaks almost every time. Warlock. What do I have to say about Warlock? Fuck it. X-Men. Awesome game. Not the best X-Men game, but if you got a friend, it's a great game to play. I got the Sega 2.0 because my Sega 1.0 got broken. I got my Nintendo there. I wrote I am error on it because it half the time doesn't fucking work and it's kind of a Zelda joke. And I got a Super Nintendo Junior. Let me just dust that off. Yep, I got a Super Nintendo. Collection of controllers. Some kind of third-party Super Nintendo controller because I lost my first one. And I got, where'd those things go? I've also got Game Genie codebook for the Nintendo. It's actually missing the last page for Zelda 2. The only code you get is Link has infinite lives, and it's nearly impossible to save unless you have a second controller plugged in. There's my Game Genie that I've had like forever. So you can see that. Sega Game Genie, which I lost the code book for, but with the internet now, you can just go and look online for any kind of codes for it. I'm not even sure if this still works, because I haven't used it on a game since, I don't know, probably 10 years. Same goes for this one, my Super Nintendo one, which is actually busted right here. See that? It kind of broke. I don't know if this still works either, because I haven't used it on a game in about 10 years either. But I still have them laying around, and these ones got those little switches that let you turn them off in case you don't want to fuck up your game. So yeah, that's my, that would be my 16-bit collection. So come back and I'll do my Game Boy games, which most of those I've lost. Then I'll do my PlayStation and Xbox games, which I have kept track of because I've gotten much better at it. So, have a nice fucking day.